Yeah, my garage. Yeah, you can see the fucking water stain there. Yeah, there's a leak there. I still got to fix. Um, Mamdani in New York. You know, Mamdani is the sign. It just shows you that like Democrat voters do not, they vote with their emotions. They don't vote with their brains. You know, I mean, all that guy is young, smiling guy, and that's that. And he promises free shit, and they're like, oh my god, Mamdani. Yeah. It's like that's what they vote for. A smiling fucking cunt who fucking, promises free shit. And that's basically the truth. You know? And you watch any video with liberals, like asked on the street why they, about their politics. They cannot give you a good answer about anything. Why why they believe this is true, why they vote for this person, or any of that. They don't know. They just it's almost like they watch MSNBC and they believe everything MSNBC says. And that's why they do it. It really is like that, and that's just so crazy. But it seems to be the truth. I mean, I've taken it as the truth. That's why I don't live in New York. I haven't lived in New York in years. I moved to Mississippi, and I just bought a house in Kentucky. Fuck that. It's like, comes to time. I toughed it out for many years, and most of my adult life, I toughed it out in New York. Until 2018, and I said, fuck it, I'm going to Texas, And then I wound up in Mississippi and bought a house in Kentucky. So, been all over the South. But the point is that, I just had enough. I mean, it gets to a point where, there's nothing you can do. I mean, I had hope for, Republicans, as far back. I mean, I even had hope for Democrats. I voted for Clinton in 92. I voted for Pataki in 94, hoping that he would do something in New York. Clinton was better than Pataki. Pataki didn't do a goddamn thing. It was a waste of fucking time. And Clinton was a bad president, you know what I'm saying? Probably the last decent fucking Democrat we had. If there could be such a thing. Well, no, I guess I'll give him a chance. Clinton wasn't that bad, but it's been all downhill ever since, And that goes for Republicans, too, because Bush wasn't much better than fucking Obama. They were both fucking duds of cosmic proportions. That's why we're in this state, That's why we needed Trump, Is Trump perfect? People say, about Trump. Hell no, Trump isn't perfect. I mean, I'm not delusional. But back in 2015, when Trump said, he's going to run for president, I was like, that's it. That's it, the answer. It was it hit me like a fucking lightning bolt. I was like, holy shit, yeah, there you go. Because, why? Because I knew he could win. Because I knew he's got the drive, he's got the personality, and he's a winner. He's not a loser, he's a winner. And he's proven that many times. He's gone through, I mean, to be successful in real estate in New York, in New Jersey, is not easy at all, So, Trump's tough, so that's why I was like, this guy could win. And he did. And like I said, is he perfect? No. Is he like the great, is he, a great guy? Yeah, he is kind of a great guy, but he has a lot of flaws, But great people do. You think guys like Churchill, or freaking, Teddy Roosevelt, you think they were perfect? No. Roosevelt, Teddy Roosevelt was a great president, but he was so full of himself. It was a well-known fact, If he wasn't so egotistical, he might have, made, gotten along with Taft and wouldn't let fucking Roosevelt win, But they did. See, at the beginning of the progressives, because that's what happens when conservatives can't get along, They let Democrats, progressives win, and then things get bad. And that's when things did get bad, because when, so here's one history lesson. 1913. Oh, that was the year this country changed forever. That was the year when they had the election at Christmas time, and let the Fed in, all that shit. The money changed, all of it. And that was all due to progressive politics. And that was all because Taft and Roosevelt couldn't get along. Let that be be a lesson to you. So what does that say? It's the same thing everywhere else. The same thing in New York. You know, it's in this country. You got to get along. Is Trump perfect? No, but you got to stand behind him. And, you know, like these guys infighting over like anti-Semitism and give me a fucking break. Tucker Carlson's not an anti-Semite. Give me a break. That's bullshit. You know, neither is that probably that Nick Fuentes is not a fucking. I'd like somebody to find me a real fucking white supremacist in the United States today who doesn't live in a mobile home in fucking Alabama or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Or Arkansas, you know? Probably Arkansas, more likely. You know what I'm saying? Fucking give me a break. You know? It's just not, it's not a reality anymore. There's very few white supremacists, like real, like kind of like David Duke style white supremacists, you know? I'm sure there's few, but they ain't fucking Nick Fuentes or Tucker Carlson, you know. So this is all kind of nonsense, man. We gotta let this shit go, and that's all I'm gonna say. We gotta stand together, you know.